now. G'day everyone, I'm here with Pat from walkaboutcoffee.com.au, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. We're at Charlesdale Uni. Pat serves up mighty fine coffee with Pat's mum over there helping out.
Hello.
Hey Pat, I've got a question for you. Is how do you need to get that? No? How did you go about learning coffee making? How did you get the confidence to even open a coffee business? Tell us a story about how you learned this stuff.
Well, how I learned about how to do the most important part of the coffee making process is frothing the milk. The Americans call it steaming and we call it frothing in Australia. I looked at YouTube, and if you're looking at me on YouTube, you'll be able to do this because I was going to think about showing them how to do it right now.
Sure, all right.
Okay, there's a couple of tricks. Generally, if you're using fresh milk, you want to have it at 4 degrees or it won't froth. Number one, fact. Second fact, no matter what size of jug that you use, it's always filled up to about half. So if it's a small jug, it's half. If it's a big jug, it's half. If it's a litre jug, it's half.
Just in quick one, that's 4 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, Fahrenheit we don't use here. And we're not talking about Kelvins either. Now, before I do this, I'll just quickly tell you what I'm going to do. There are two parts of making milk for coffee. One is frothing, getting the foam. Two is stretching or texturising the milk. So we do number one first. You look at that down there, that's just milk. We're going to put this wand into the milk until it just goes below the milk. Once it goes below the milk, we'll hear the shh. Then I'm going to listen for a different sound, and the sound is pip, 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 about 4 times. Once I've done that, I'll put the steamer below the milk, and then we'll stretch it or heat it up. Let's go. There's the frothing. And now there's the peak. It goes quite quickly because I'm already there. Now I've frothed it, now I'm just stretching the milk, texturising it. And I've probably got a little bit too much milk in there. Another thing is, and this is an important part, that's a really poorly well done bit. When you put your hand underneath it, when you can't hold it any longer, and then put it 1, 2, 3, that's ready. That's probably 62 degrees. But what we'll do is we'll just test it, and we'll see. This is live. I reckon it's about 64.
Can't really get focused on it, it's too much light. You have to read
66 degrees. So it's 66 degrees. It's probably a touch too warm. So there's a trick. You turn it around, and I'm going to show you how to get rid of the air, the bubble. See how that's a little bit frothy? In Darwin, you have to put up with the flies. That's a little bit frothy. So what we're going to do is turn that around and let it sit there and cool for a minute while we do the second section and add some coffee to it. We want to clean that out. It's already reasonably clean. We're going to grind the coffee. We're going to have a bit of that's not too fussed about this. This is important. 15 kilograms of pressure. So you give it a push. You clean up that later. You put this in. That's called a group handle. You put into the group head. You take out a brand new cup, put it on, and we're now going to extract the coffee by using a large pour. It should take about 4 to 5 seconds before it starts pouring, and then about another 2 seconds you'll see the colour of the crema, which is pretty good.
But the colour is an indication of how good it is?
It's an indication that you've done a couple of things. One, you've got the correct grind for the situation. It's not too humid, it's not too fine, it's not too coarse. 2, you've got the correct tamper, in other words, the amount of pressure needed inside that. 3, you've got the correct pressure coming out so that if it goes, for example, 2 seconds and it starts pouring, something's wrong. If it's 8 seconds and it starts pouring, something's wrong. So you have to go look through the process, the grind, the coarseness, the pressure in the boiler. And if you have a look at that, you'll see, here's another little trick. That stuff's called a crema on top. If you can do this and not see black inside it, you've poured it perfectly. It's not different than pouring a head on a beer. If that makes sense for you beer drinkers or non-beer drinkers out there. So this is now cooled. So we're now going to make a cappuccino because I've made it with a bit of froth. Now there are lots of techniques on how you pour a cappuccino. I'm going to show you the shuffle technique. It's not like the shuffle dancing, but you push it out like this, and that's how you get the foam out on it. And you make sure you've got a clean rag to clean it up. Now you've got enough foam in it, you pour the stretched milk on the side. Once again, not unlike pouring a beer. And here we go to someone who's allowed to taste it. I can't taste it.
Yep, that's all right. That's good. Thanks very much, Pat.
Thank you.
Walkaboutcoffee.com.au.
That's me, walkaboutcoffee.com.au. We do festivals and functions too.
And if you've watched this video and reckon you can make a good coffee, go and ask Pat for a job.
You can take over my job, it'll be good, and I can take over yours. Thank you.